Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas with my man John Kincade. Welcome into another day of post-show headlines. We do this every single day after the show. 5 topics, 2 minutes apiece, and then we get the hell out of here. You're golfing today, so we got to get this done quickly. All right, so we'll start. You have a Mick Abel related question who made his Major League debut yesterday.
Wasn't that awesome?
And was spectacular. Oh, by the way, we had Tom McCarthy on earlier today. You can watch that on YouTube and listen to it on the Fanatic website. That's got to be special to be able to call that guy's game. And he said that's the beauty of baseball, the beauty of sports. Anything can happen on a given day. Kind of like Tyler Stevenson last year? Remember, he had that
in the 9-inning complete game.
And you never, that's the beauty of sports.
He was terrible.
Right, but that's the beauty of sports. Right. You just put it on and bam, you have a story. What do you got on Abel?
Okay, so think of it this way. Think of what you felt yesterday watching Mick Abel pitch. Mm-hmm. It was an amazing debut. 16 pitchers in the history of the game have done scoreless, 6 innings minimum, 9 strikeouts minimum.
Yeah.
That's amazing for his Major League debut. But talk about debuts that fooled you. And it doesn't just have to be the first outing, but a couple outings.
Yeah.
Where you go, wow, they got something here. And then it ended up being, nah, they don't.
So I'll be honest, I was not fooled. I remember debating this with my dad when I was younger. I was not fooled by Don Brown, but I know the city of Philadelphia was.
I was.
I remember pointing out to my dad, and this again, I was in high school. I was like, look at his swing, because he was always so underneath. And I said, once the book gets out that he can't touch anything above,
I was fooled.
He's not going to be able to hit anymore, and that's exactly how it played out. I'm trying to think of guys that fooled me with their debuts.
It doesn't have to be that sport either.
No, I know.
Any other sport that you had one that fooled you? Where you saw somebody break onto the scene and you're like, damn, this guy's just going to be great.
Well, was I fooled by Wentz and Simmons, or did they just freaking fall apart?
Well, I mean, I think Wentz fell apart mentally.
Yeah,
but so physically. Simmons wasn't. Simmons doesn't have the physical excuse. Wentz has at least the physical excuse.
Yeah.
But it's just what a great day.
Does anyone come to mind?
I can't. I mean, it's hard because I was thinking.
I try never to get overly excited with pitchers.
See, I pump the brakes.
Yeah, I'm usually a pump the brakes guy, but I don't. It's not that I don't celebrate it.
Right.
Like you celebrate. I loved what I watched out of Mick Abel yesterday, but I'm not about to start saying, "Oh, this could be a big piece."
Okay, how many does it take? 4 or 5?
Yeah.
If he goes 4 or 5 starts. And he's got like a 2.5 ERA.
Yeah,
You're going to start getting excited.
It's got to look consistent.
Then you're going to start getting excited.
Because I saw Tyler Stevenson do it against the Dodgers.
Yep.
Remember, Mick Abel did it against the Pirates yesterday. I saw Tyler Stevenson do it against the Dodgers in his debut, go a complete game.
Sure.
But then it was the rest of the league where he struggled. And that's where baseball's so weird. All right, so right before, I'm going to pull you guys behind the curtain a little bit.
Okay.
We do post-show headlines right after the show ends. And it's during the Mike Missinelli show. And during the little crossover off air, Mike was wondering why we didn't rip the Phillies for this. We only ripped Alvarado.
I think Mike may need a press secretary.
Jose Alvarado is the one that put the things into his body and did not ask if the things were okay.
Mike, by the way, does Mike not understand that Jose Alvarado did this? And there was probably around 900 miles between the Phillies organization and him while he did it.
During the offseason, maybe.
They don't send spies to your house to watch you? I don't understand. I don't understand the point.
So I'll ask this. What are some things that you'll blame the person for? And what are some things you'll blame the organization?
See, I'm always personal responsibility first.
I agree
I'm always a personal responsibility first.
But I will say Scott Kingery, not that I thought, the people that said he was the next Pedroia and Utley, you're crazy because those are 2 very, very, very good players for the franchises that they played for. But I don't think Scott Kingery just sucked. And remember, they tried making him more of a power swinger, hitter.
You believe that Scott Kingery just had sort of very goodness or greatness just sucked out of him?
I think they messed with him big time.
Okay.
I didn't think he was going to become a superstar.
But he's not even.
But a nice piece.
But he's not even average.
Yeah, he ended up stinking.
I don't believe an organization can take that out.
Not only did they change his swing, they changed his approach to the plate. He was a second baseman. They played him in center.
Right.
They played him at third.
Phillies like doing that, by the way.
Yeah, and they did it with a guy that did not have the arm for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that was a guy that was impacted by the organization.
Okay. I can agree with that.
When it comes to PEDs, you put this stuff in your body.
The PEDs,
that's on you. But I'm talking about other things that you would put, like Isaiah Joe not being good with the Sixers. He's not a point guard. They tried making him a point guard. It didn't work. He goes to the Thunder where he's just a catch-and-shoot spot-up three-point shooter. He's shooting 42% from three, which is what he was supposed to do coming out of college. So I do blame the organization for things.
Okay, there are things where the organization doesn't grasp it.
How many times have we said, oh, that guy, like, sometimes you're really good because of it. Nnamdi Asomugha, system player with the Raiders. Byron Maxwell, system player with the Seahawks. You bring him here because you go, that guy's good. We'll make it work. And then it didn't work. Some guys don't. Sometimes guys don't work in your scheme.
Correct, and you've got to know who fits.
Yes,
fit matters, and fit matters with an organization, not just with an individual player.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what do you got on the NBA playoffs?
Okay, the NBA. I love something that the NBA does, where they allow in the first two rounds of the playoffs. I love the Denver alternate city.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
the 5280.
Mm-hmm.
For their altitude. Yeah. I love that the NBA allows teams to wear their alternate jerseys in the first two rounds of the playoffs. I think that that's a really cool thing that the NBA says, okay, in the conference finals and the finals, you're only allowed to wear your primary jerseys home and away. You got to keep it standard. But they loosen up in the first two rounds. Would you like to see more of that come to the NFL? And I really want to keep it in the NFL. The NFL,
because baseball does do the Thursday. The Phillies wore the powder blues in the playoffs 2 years ago, right? On the Thursday, one of their Thursday night games. They always do Thursday night as the powder blue.
I didn't think
night.
City Connects were in the.
No, not the Friday, not the weird.
Okay, not the crazy.
I'm talking about the powder blue.
The powder blues are allowed.
Worn in a playoff.
Do you want to see rules set aside where baseball would say National League Championship Series, World Series,
regular jerseys? Yeah.
But the wild card round and the other round.
Yeah, look,
let it be, because what's the big deal?
It's not the big deal. It's just honestly like the color splash things they did in the NFL a few years ago. I don't need those in the playoffs.
Well, what if you took that out? Like you just say your alternate jerseys. Like to me, like the Eagles being able to.
If you could wear Kelly Green in the playoffs, that'd be cool.
Like I think that would be really
that would be cool if you could wear Kelly.
And Green in the NBA, to me, it's got to sell more merchandise for the NFL.
Probably.
Doesn't it?
Well, you're going to get your Super Bowl patch jerseys regardless of what they're wearing.
Yeah, but even in the playoffs, you're just getting more eyeballs.
Yeah, you are.
The games are more eyeballs, even when they're damaged.
Like I think it'd be cool.
I think it's just this. I like that from the NBA that they loosen up on that. I want to see the NFL do more of that.
Or you just make your actual jerseys cool, like the Seahawks back in the day. Well, still, but I love the Seahawks jerseys.
Do you like the highlighter ones?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
There's something about them that's just as eye-catching.
Because there's a lot to it, but it's not over the top. It's not like the color splash. I hated the color splash.
I hated the color splash.
There was too much. There was too much going on.
Didn't like it.
All right, you have a slice of life question?
Okay, yeah, it's a little slice of life for you. So Jose Alvarado yesterday has, by the way, so then I tracked down 3 quotes from the locker room where players say something along the lines of, I want to hear from Jose himself.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm floored because Jose Alvarado, he did know about this was coming. They were deciding whether they were going to contest it or not.
Right.
And then they decided to accept the suspension and move on.
And the ineligibility.
He didn't tell any one of his teammates. He snuck out of that locker room. He snuck out without telling his teammates what was going on. And he has guys, his bullpen mates, the guys he sits and watches games with, that he never shared with, that he never said, hey, dude, by the way, this is coming down the street. Let me tell you what happened. Let me share it with you. I think that's really bad form. I think it's really bad form. And to me...
Yeah, because we had Tim Kelly on today. He said his locker was...
And it partially cleaned out. And guys didn't know. How... Like
so
that
he probably cleaned it out Saturday night.
That to me is bad. That's bad form, but really is too. So I ask you this. When someone does you wrong, how quick are you to forgive?
Oh, it depends.
Personally.
What's the...
It's a work. I'm putting it in the same thing. It's like I'm taking the Strom Alvarado.
Yeah.
The Harper having to speak for Alvarado yesterday, which, by the way, players hate that.
Yeah.
Don't ever take it wrong. Players hate having to do that. Like, so you're talking like a coworker. You're talking about somebody who's a friend at work, a friend of thing. But like, how quick are you to be able to forgive?
I'm pretty quick to forgive. I've worked with people that have had moments where I should not have forgiven them.
You should not have forgiven.
But I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say in life.
Are you slower in personal life?
Again, depends on the magnitude of it. There's an old friend of mine that I didn't talk to for almost a decade. So like,
that's,
I'm
slower in professional life than I am in personal life.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like to me, if I have little invested in you, I am less likely to want to throw you a life risk.
Yeah,
I can be professional, but if somebody screws me over or treats me poorly in a work setting, I can be like
the closeness of this business. Like if you did something, you did me wrong with something. Not that you ever would.
Right.
Wait till next week. You and I work with each other every day.
No, it could be.
You're the first person I see.
Right.
I like my wife and son are asleep when I leave the house.
Correct.
Like John Kincade is the first person I talk to 5 days a week.
Morning, honey.
So probably quicker.
No, you got it. Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's very people don't realize that is when you work, like when you do that. Like I had a partner. It's funny is that we laughed. I had a partner for 21 years.
Yeah.
And we laughed that the average marriage in Atlanta lasted 7 years.
Right,
and our marriage lasted 3 times that, which is crazy.
All right, last thing. So you said something on the air today that I immediately disagreed with.
Okay.
As exciting as Memorial Day weekend is, because it's the unofficial start to the summer.
Right.
More often than not, it's a letdown.
Yeah, it's always a letdown. Weather-wise.
Rain, cold. The beach is still like in the low 60s down the shore, and that's where everybody goes, right? Like everybody's let's go to the Jersey Shore. And then I still remember we did a freshman year of college. A bunch of us stayed in one hotel room. Like we were sleeping in the bathtub, on the couch. We did.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
It was like 10 of us in one room. Like we made it work. And we all were so excited to get down there. We got down there. It was misting the whole time. Like it sucked. Like the weather sucked for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Where does MDW, and of course we know what it really is about, but let's talk about it from people getting together and doing barbecues and stuff. Where does it rank? Out of the July 4th, Labor Day, that's really it, right? Summertime. Like Memorial Day weekend's the bottom. Even though Labor Day means the end of summer and that's depressing, you still get a better weekend out of it.
Memorial Day is absolutely the bottom of those 3. Because even though Labor Day, it still means football's coming.
Yeah.
And
the weather's better.
You still have better weather.
Yeah.
And it's usually, there's still more, you still, especially if you go down the shore.
Right, which I do.
Or if you're one of those rich kids that has shore parents, you can still go down anytime you want.
Not true.
Poor kids from Delco, we do not.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So,
you're gonna shine my shoes.
So to me, I may. So
try
it's
to make an extra buck.
So look, so what I would say is that it's the bottom rung. But
I think it's the most anticipated one.
But to me, I would take any other weekend of the summer thing than Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Any other weekend.
But am I not wrong in saying it's the most anticipated one?
Oh, it's very anticipated.
Like MDW, most anticipated with the biggest letdown.
Oh, yeah.
July 4th, July 4th.
But July 4th, now the thing is, you will never catch me at the Jersey Shore.
I don't go down.
Don't either.
I don't go down.
I'm not doing amateur hour weekends. That is New Year's Eve.
It is nuts.
Late night. That's New Year's Eve late. Not doing it.
The only thing we might do if we do go down is just kind of chill in the area, but we're not going to the restaurants.
I mean, it's just crazy
because they're crazy.
No.
Like at that point, it's grill in my parents' house.
That's why the last week of August, leading up to Labor Day, has been just a godsend.
Oh, it's a great time to go.
And quiet. It's so awesome at the shore. No problem getting in the restaurants.
Yeah.
It's quiet. The brats are back at school.
Yeah.
It's fun.
First weekend after
the brats that we love, of course.
But some we don't. All right. Like, subscribe, everything on our YouTube page. We appreciate it as always. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Go hit them straight.
I will. Yourself. Thanks for putting my eye drops in.
Yeah, 2 doses of eye drops that I had to put in John's eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you guys later. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.